Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary folks. This is Brandon Pilcher, artist and author extraordinaire. This video is going to be kind of a different type of content from what I usually put on YouTube and other video places. It's just mostly just YouTube right now. It's not showcasing my art, or nor is it advertising a book I'm putting out or have already put out. It's going to be a bit of an unscripted rant about a certain trend I've noticed in the YouTube content creator sphere that, spec- and a certain trend I've noticed on YouTube. Specifically, the tendency for a lot of YouTube videos to have AI generated artwork in their thumbnails or on the backgrounds of their videos. And I am not a fan of that. Now, there are a lot of different genres of YouTube video that do this. But the trend I've noticed it particularly is with channels that that play music that the creator has made a track of music in some software and they're playing it whereas they're having an image in the background. And lately they've been doing this with AI generated images or so-called AI artwork, which is basically produced with software like Stable Diffusion or Midjourney, or there are a lot of different generators out there, but Stable Diffusion and Midjourney and seem to be the big ones. They're kind of like the image version of ChatGTP. And one channel I'm sorry for the call out, but one channel I've noticed doing this is a channel run by a couple of musicians called Brandon and Derek Feature. I don't know how to pronounce their last name. It's some German name, and they produce music with a fantasy or a world theme, like music emulating different cultures or time periods. And they used to just have image when making videos for their music. They used to just have images in the background that they took from Google, usually artwork, and they were pretty good about crediting the artists behind them, the images or the photos they took, or the photo. Like if it was a photo, they would credit the photographer. They were pretty good about that in the past, but within the last couple of years, I've noticed they've been using AI generations from Midjourney instead. And I feel that even though I still like their music, I feel that it's kind of dropped the quality of their videos because they're using AI generations instead of actual artwork made by human beings. I understand why an artist might do why someone might do this. Like someone who is not an artist but needs of imagery for their video might do this because commissioning an artist can be very expensive, and you want images for your video, but you may not know art. So these AI generators sound liberating. The problem with them is that they're basically corporations who run by corporations who took a bunch of images off the internet, all over the internet. They took thousands, if not millions, if not billions of images off the internet, and they to use as training data for the generators. And not only are they using not only are they using it for training data to produce the AI generations, but they're also profiting off it in two various ways. Like for example, there are free versions. There were used to be free versions of Stable Diffusion or Midjourney readily available for anyone to use. Most of those generators require a paid subscription or to take full advantage of them or to produce higher quality images. Quality being relative here, of course, and um, and I don't like that they're profiting off taking images off the internet. It's one thing to take an image off the internet and attribute and use it for your video and without making money off the video itself. I mean, we've all kind of done that. Everyone who's worked with YouTube has and made videos for YouTube has kind of done that. But even I've done it a few times. Although I also use my own artwork for those videos. But the I think it's kind of bothers me that these AI image generators, the companies that are behind that technology, expect to profit off what's basically taking images off the internet without compensating the artists behind them. And I think if you're profiting off something you've taken from the internet, that's not okay. If you're taking artwork from Google image search or something like that, and you're making money off it, you're basically doing art theft. And I've been a victim of art theft in the past. Like, I've had one of my portraits, one of my artworks used on a pair of earrings in some kind of Chicago jewelry store. I was not happy. Someone found that out and notified me about it, and I was not happy about that at all. So AI art generators are basically doing that on an industrial scale. They're profiting off basically a giant case of art theft, and I don't want people giving them money to produce images for that and to generate images. AI art always kind of rubs me the wrong way anyway, because it's basically, most of the time when I see it on DeviantArt, it's basically art without an artist. It's like the only thing that went into its creation is someone entering a prompt, and that feels like, I don't like it when supposed artists post their AI generations on DeviantArt and Instagram and so on, and pass that off as their own work when it's basically the work of the AI generator. So it already gives me kind of a bad vibe there. But I kind of tired of AI art and AI generated stuff in general. I really think that generative AI in general has given me a bad vibe. It used to be fun to dick around with that kind of technology, I'll admit, but now I'm kind of sick of it, and I would never spend a dime on any of these generators myself. I mean, I always used a free version when I did dick around with them in the past, and basically, sorry, I need to wipe my throat a bit. Also, sorry for the camera angle. It's pretty hard to get this camera angle right with my little webcam thing. Well, anyway, let's see another thing is that AI art generators are, well, they're pretty good. They're relatively decent at producing static images of people and static scenes. They're not very good at complex scenes. I've noticed, like, for example, if I enter in the past, if I enter in something like Stable Diffusion, I have two groups of people from different cultures meeting. Like, I have a tribe of African people meeting a tribe of Native Americans in a forest somewhere. It might produce images of two groups of people, but they all have costumes that are kind of a mix of African and Native American cultures, and it doesn't really understand that there are two different factions of people with different costumes. It's not able to understand that. At least that's been my experience with it, and it also sucks at rendering creatures like dinosaurs or dragons. They all look like these Lovecraftian eldritch abominations hybridized with Jurassic World hybrids, which is, they're like double hybrids, monstrified versions of monsters, basically. So, yeah, I'm just tired of generative AI in general, and I kind of wish people making YouTube videos would stop using that for thumbnails or backgrounds. Like, if you really if you're making music and you really need a background or for a thumbnail for your image, I would recommend. What I would recommend is doing what you used to do, which is take an image off the internet, credit the artist, ideally credit the artist if you can find information on who it is, and then use it, and then just have it be in the background. You're not making money off the image itself; it's your music that you're selling, and basically, I don't know if taking images off the internet by itself is problematic, as long as you're not profiting off it. It's the that's a profit issue. That makes it theft, in my opinion, and that makes it a copyright violation, in my opinion. And I just do it what people were doing before this generated AI garbage came out, and yeah, or even better, commission an actual artist to produce artwork, or produce the thumbnail or the background for you. That would be what I would recommend. Like, artists need money more than now and ever, especially since a lot of corporations are laying off their artists. A lot of media, what I mean is a lot of media corporations are laying off their artists in order to, because all they really care about is making more profit for their shareholders. That's basically the point of capitalism these days, and that's all they really care about. They don't care about wokeness or politics or anything. They just care about making as much money as they can. So a lot of them are even if they introduce woke themes into their movies that the right wingers on YouTube whine about. All they really care about is profit. They just, even the so-called woke stuff, which is basically just a facade to disguise the fact that all they care about is profit. But anyway, that's getting off topic. All these corporations care about is profit in the main in the long in the all these corporations care about in the end is profit, and and they're laying off artists to do that. So artists need money more than ever. I certainly could use money, and we need to support artists. So I think it's if you have the funds to commission artists, that would be a very good idea. If you can make art yourself, that's also a good thing to do. But basically, just don't do this AI generative stuff, and especially don't give AI art generator companies a dime. That's basically my big message for the day. This is Brandon Pilcher signing off, and have a good day, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary folks, and that's me. Goodbye.